Well, the story is that we were all members of the Boston Guitar Orchestra, and then for one performance, they couldn't fit us all on stage, and a long story, but we broke up into quartets, and we kind of liked it, and we kept doing it.
Great.
So we do about once a week, sometimes we skip, and then once every month, we have a coach, Adam Levin.
A genius.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Brilliant. So anyway, so once a month we get together with him and he gives us a few pointers and then we work during the month. And then...
In fact, he called us this morning. We got together before we came over here and he just gave us some.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But what we can't, because we were saying if we don't play good, we're not gonna say who our coach is. But now we anyway,
He told us that.
yeah.
Oh, very good. Well, he's just the best.
We all have other vocations and passion.
No, but I mean, you are the real people that you people are the real lovers of music, because these people have jobs and then they go home and they find time to learn and practice. It's extraordinary. I mean, really extraordinary, and wonderful. And obviously you get along, and what a wonderful thing.
No, it's a great thing.
By
the way, I wanna do a shout out here because they're still in the Boston Guitar Orchestra, but I moved on. I'm with the Providence Mandolin Orchestra, the director of who is here.
Right there, yes. Mr. Bark. Been doing that forever, right? Just fantastic. And he can tell you the whole history of mandolin orchestras in this country and around the world. It's really far out. Yeah.
So yes, I'm under his tutelage.
They did commission.
I'm the genius of his wife.
Brilliant. Okay. So so I just think it's wonderful. I will say just a couple of things because of the time. First of all, if you just look at you guys, I have a little trouble because you need to have more eye contact. Now this time, I'm going to forget your name. You're George. George is and Ian are very good lookers, but and you are. Tell me your name again.
Ozzy.
Oh yeah, Ozzy. You do tend to. We have to get you to communicate, all the band to communicate more visually. Part of it is, so let's see if we can rearrange the chairs a little bit. So I mean, it's a weird thing with guitar, with quartets, because you want the sound to go out, but at the same time, you got to have eye contact. So, and you got to be, the other thing I would strongly advocate is, no matter what the situation, just get low stands. Because the guitar, these stands completely block the sound, so the guitar is already so soft. So I'm really a big, I go crazy with my students. So that should be just kind of part of your gear is a low stand. Okay, cool. So, but let's see if Scott maybe come forward. If you look at great quartets, maybe just a little out. I would study this group called the Los Angeles Guitar Quartet. They're not that good. But nonetheless, I would watch them, or the European Guitar Quartet, or I love this quartet from England, Vita Quartet. Anyway, just really look at how they sit. So you got to find, because you got to be able to hear the person. So I know that sounds wacky with just 4 guitars. Never mind you guys with 14, but yeah.
But when we last saw Adam on Wednesday, this was something he said we need to do more of.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it was just getting up here at the stands.
No, of course you're rushing, but that's the thing we have to. As a great Tibetan Lama, said to me, I said, man, you know, he's getting his coffee, he's putting milk in. He says the things I can control in life, I do. So I think with us, with our seating, take the time. It goes for everybody. Whenever you have to play, take the time you need to get comfortable. I mean, I really think that's, and don't let, and you're the stars of the show. It's like, without you, there's no show. So I think that's a big lesson. But the other thing I would say is, I see this all the time with my own students. In your practicing, absolutely find that. No matter what room you're in, but make sure you really, unless you're doing a kind of a read through. In Elizabethan times, they had the parts that went, so the people played right across from each other, you can see the music written in that way, that it's really cool, that you play across from each other. So if you're doing that kind of thing, you're sorting out parts. So that's one thing. So let's see if you can, Ozzy, can you start the first piece, and let me hear you just count it out, and get eye contact with the rest of the tet, as it were, the quartet.
I like that name,
The tet, quartet, yeah. Now I need you to look at it, bro. Now, did you know where the beat was? See, this is the thing. We as pluckers, as it were, we don't play in orchestras, so we don't know how to give a cue, right? So that's something I'll recommend all of you that hang out with other musicians, lesser people that play instruments like violin and cello. I mean, they're not as sensitive, intelligent as us, but what can you do? I'm married to one. She's a flutist. That said, I said it once, and somebody got really upset. They thought I was serious. So let's, for now, and I'm not even good at it, but I think for now, if I could hear you go, so we're in, just literally, I played with this real hack once. His name was John Will something. Really. I did what I could for him. I thought his career was, he had only 40 records to 60 records. I said, I'm helping you, dude. No, but I did play duets with John Williams a couple of times. And the first time, he just said, let's just go old school. He says, I'm just going to go. He didn't actually say that back then in the 80s, but he said, I'm just going to count it out like, rock it. And it was great. It's just the two of us right there. And he goes, one, boom. So I think that's another thing. But, and then when you get good, you learn how to breathe in and do, but let's just count it out. Just go 1, 2, 3. But you have to look at it.
1, 2, 3.
Everybody's happy. Paul McCartney. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dingle, dingle, dingle. It works. It works. So now you can do that quietly, right? And then you can get to it just boom. And when you play it enough duos, like with my wife, you just hear her breathe. You just know. Okay, cool. So, all right. So that is killer. So please do that and make sure eye contact. Now, let's do. Can you do the last few bars?
Where would you like us?
Wherever you just play the last. I just want to see how you end. Endings are so important.
57.
Yeah. 57, last 4 bars. Not bad. Not bad. Though, I always say this, you know what those last 4 cards are, right? And you three, again, Oz, you get a lot of love from these guys, but you're not giving anything. So now I want you to play those 4 bars and look at each other. Don't look. This drives me crazy. When my students bury their head in the score for the last 4 bars, So now, Ozzy, everybody look at each other. Play the same 4 bars and look at each other. And end, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Yes! Yes! Do it again. Why didn't you look at him? Yeah, everybody's going to look at Oz because he's playing number 1. Same thing again. Now, let's talk about that ending. What do you want to do with that ending dynamically? Dum. Right, this here. Dum, jump, jump, jump. Do make a crescendo. Yeah, make a crescendo. Da-da-da. So, yeah, right, do it again. But make it crescendo to the last 2 beats. Da-da-da-da.
All right, listen. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
English Baroque drummer, percussionist. His name is Keith Moon. I kid. Who said, I think he said, it doesn't matter what you play in the middle of a drum solo, it only matters how you begin and end it. So, I'm not sure about the totally what we do, but certainly endings are huge. So practice endings. Great. Now, play from the beginning and then we'll stop. That was great. From the top.
beginning?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ozzy, that's great.